do about it. So let's start with the principles of rake. A lot of people think the most important thing about rake is the overall balance of the boat. If you rake back, your sails are back further, and you change the center of effort, especially relative to the centerboard and rudder, the center of lateral resistance. Does that matter? Well, in bigger boats that matters a lot. In a 420, it doesn't matter as much because you're sailing by feel anyway. So if the boat feels like a little bit weather helm, it's because you've raked back, you simply sail the boat flatter. So if you're sailing by feel, moving that center of effort back and forth a little bit won't hurt you because you're going to sail until the boat's balanced anyway by using your body. And if being heavier, also your main sheet. Just let it out a little bit to make sure that your center of effort and matches the resistance which you can feel with the tiller. So you sail to the tiller, keep it perfectly flat, keep the light touch, and you've released the water brakes under the boat through balancing the blades. All right, let's talk about the big effect of mast rake. That is on the jib. Because there's no adjustable jib lead, the only way we adjust this jib sheet angle is through rake. So we're going to start out in this case with rake forward. Now let me explain, just tell you, Dave Ullman's quote on mast rake. Dave was a 3-time 470 world champion, and his quote was, "Rake forward for power, rake back for speed." And I'm going to show you what happens if you do too much, and finding the correct range for your power-speed ratio, and then how to find your numbers when you master your boat. Let's start with the basics of what the forward rake does. With this forward rake that we have, the forward rake has moved the head of the jib forward and raised this jib clew. We've rocked the jib forward, and the jib clew is high. That means we have a more downward angle on the jib sheet trim. This jib sheet is going up pretty high up into the jib, and it's pulling downward. As such, it is cupping, trimming in the top of the jib while keeping the bottom of the jib round. This is what we need when we are trying to get through chop. It might even be a fairly flat water venue, but if it's a big regatta, even if it's a big regatta with an offshore wind, you're going to have race committee chop, umpire chop, coach boat chop, and if it's in the summer, recreational chop, and all kinds of chop. Plus, even though it's blowing offshore, if it's big regatta, you need to go out further and you're going to have wind chop. And if it's only blowing 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and your crew is not all the way out, you're looking for power, raking forward gives you a more powerful jib. And that because it's rounder. It's round at the bottom because we didn't strap it, and it's round at the top. Because of the downward pull, we're trimming the top and making that trim and round. All right, now let's look at what rake does and how that changes the shape of your jib.
Tie the knot. And then finally, the last thing I like to do is